Tarasco. I'm a registered nurse holding certifications in dementia, gerontology, and brain health. You probably remember me from the last two presentations. I did one on fall prevention and also brain health as you age. Both of these were provided to you courtesy of MJ Baker Financial Advisors. Now, just a note, even though this is going to be great information for you, and I love being able to improve your quality of life, even by one intervention, the video is for informational and educational purposes only. And it's not intended to be a replacement or a substitute for professional medical diagnosis or treatment. Okay? All right, well, let's get started. If you're watching right now, you are continuing to take healthy aging seriously by obtaining information on relevant aging topics. You're choosing to be proactive to ensure that you're living your best life on this aging journey. MJ Baker Financial Associates are not only concerned about the health of your financial portfolio, they are also concerned about your physical health as well. They carefully guide you to ensure you have enough retirement income to fund your desired retirement lifestyle. Now they are also providing the information to focus on all things that money cannot buy. Good health as you age. As we age, we tend to become more aware of common diseases associated with aging. And one chronic disease that affects many older adults is arthritis. Now, arthritis is not a single disease. There are more than 100 different types and related conditions that destroy joints, bones, and muscles. These conditions hamper or halt physical movement, but osteoarthritis is the most common. This is a condition that affects over 90 million people in the U.S. alone. Wow, that's a lot of people. So arthritis is a general term for conditions that affect joints, tissues around the joints, and connective tissues. Each type of arthritis can have different symptoms. Some types do not have any symptoms outside of the joint. And then there's other forms that cause fatigue, fever, and rash. One thing most forms of arthritis do have in common is inflammation, swelling, stiffness, and diminished range of motion for joints and movement. You know, a little bit of trivia. Arthritis means arthro, which is joint, and itis, inflammation. So that's where that word comes from. A joint. A joint is where two or more bones meet. In healthy joints, there's a tough, slippery, smooth surface which lines the ends of the bones, allowing them to glide easily over each other. Now this facilitates frictionless movement. Cartilage serves as a shock absorber between the bones, the joints. And the one thing about cartilage, which is so amazing, is it has the ability to change shape when compressed, flattened, or pressed together. When this cartilage becomes worn or damaged, it starts to degrade. And that's what leads to the pain, swelling, and restricted movement that people with arthritis experience. Now, the origin of osteoarthritis can be traced back to a person's early life from any seemingly ordinary joint injury. Because with a joint injury, following the impact, the body, it has its own natural responses to things. All the immune cells rush in to help clean and repair the damaged site and begin pumping out enzymes. These enzymes clear out damaged tissue, but they contribute to inflammation. This rapid swelling, which cushions the joint during the recovery, causes not all the tissues to be healed, so the inadequate healed tissues can cause the immune cells to overstay their visit. The continuing flood of enzymes starts to degrade the cartilage, weakening the joint, and leading to arthritis later on. Not all osteoarthritis can be traced back to an old injury, though. Osteoarthritis is also caused by overuse, and it's commonly referred to as the wear and tear arthritis or degenerative joint disease. You probably heard this or seen it on a summary after a doctor's visit, DJD. That's degenerative joint disease. Unlike rheumatoid arthritis, which is the second most common arthritis, that is not caused by overuse and is not a wear and tear arthritis. Rheumatoid is a systemic condition. In rheumatoid arthritis, the immune system attacks the tissues of the joints, leading to pain, inflammation, eventually joint damage, and joint malformation. We still don't know what causes a person's immune system to attack healthy tissue, but the result is that the body treats joint tissue like a foreign invader. This leads to chronic inflammation, which destroys the bone and cartilage. Back to osteoarthritis, when the cartilage within a joint begins to break down, the underlying bone begins to change. These changes usually develop slowly, and they do get worse over time. Many times there are bone spurs, which are small growth. Again, here's the body trying to do its own natural recovery. When the cartilage wears the bone, wears down, and the bone tries to compensate by growing more bone. And this causes the spurs, and they cause pain and inflammation. Many times a surgeon will go in just to clean out the bone spurs, and that brings quite a bit of relief to certain people if the osteoarthritis is not too progressed. That osteoarthritis diagnosis usually begins with a visit to your primary care. You go in there because, geez, something is going on. My knee kills me. I can't go up steps at all without having pain. I'm okay when I'm sitting, but as soon as I stand up to try to walk, I'm in pain. Your physician will perform a physical exam and, when necessary, run some blood tests and imaging scans to get to the source of the problem. Now, cartilage does not appear on an x-ray. It doesn't show up on an x-ray. But the loss of cartilage is revealed by a narrowing of the space between the bones in the joint. You may have heard someone describe their joint pain as bone on bone, and that means the cartilage is completely worn away. There are times when the physician may do a CAT scan or an MRI if a closer image of soft tissue or a torn ligament is something that they want to get a little better look at. And a doctor that specializes in arthritis and other related conditions is called a rheumatologist. And you may want to get under the care of a rheumatologist once you have that diagnosis. They're specialty doctors, and they come up with some pretty good interventions to help with relief. So what are the risk factors for osteoarthritis? The number one risk factor is, yep, you guessed it, age. That is the number one risk factor, age over 55 years old. Other risk factors that increase the risk of developing osteoarthritis include gender. Women are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop osteoarthritis. Obesity. Early joint injury, we spoke of that just a couple minutes ago. Any occupation that requires frequent squatting and kneeling. Genetics. There is a gene that is passed down regarding osteoarthritis. And here's a risk factor that people don't realize or think about much. Stress. Ongoing stress takes a toll on your health, and it makes any health condition worse, including arthritis. You see, when your body is under stress, it releases chemicals that trigger inflammation and pain. So you might be more likely to have arthritis flare-ups when you're feeling stressed. Even though your primary care physician can manage your arthritis, again, a specialist, someone who just follows any type of arthritis and related conditions, may be somebody that you would like to oversee your care. Now, when it comes to the treatment, there is no cure for arthritis, but we focus on relieving symptoms and improving function. That's what we're going for. Treatment depends on your symptoms, your age, and your general health. It depends on what type of arthritis you have and how severe your condition is. If it's an early stage arthritis, commonly used over-the-counter arthritis medicines include Tylenol or acetaminophen, Advil, ibuprofen. You know, many times I'm asked by patients, which should I use, Tylenol or ibuprofen? Well, studies have shown that taking acetaminophen and ibuprofen at the same time is a safe and even provides greater pain relief than taking one or the other alone. The reason for this is because acetaminophen and ibuprofen, they work differently in the body and they're eliminated by different organs. The liver removes the acetaminophen while the kidneys eliminate the ibuprofen. Since they are separate routes of elimination, taking these two medications at the same time would not overtax the same organ. And this is a safe and very effective combination of pain relief. Of course, you must stay within the recommended dosage for both medications and make sure you have no pre-existing conditions that would be counterindicated for you, like liver issues or ulcers, stomach ulcers. Something else that you must be very mindful of is your posture with osteoarthritis. A physical therapist can show you how to sit, stand, and move correctly. Choose activities that build the muscle around your joints. You know, it's a myth that the more you use your joints, the more they'll hurt. Nope. Spending life in an easy chair may be the worst thing you can do for osteoarthritis. Physical activity will ease your pain, as well as help you stay flexible, strengthen your joints, and help control your weight. Choose low-impact exercises that won't be hard on your body, like swimming, walking, yoga. If you build up the muscles around your joints, you'll protect them and stabilize them. You will be able to do activities with less discomfort. You can start doing simple exercises at home. Lift some soup cans in your hands or do leg lifts while you're watching TV. Get a list of safe exercises from a doctor or a physical therapist. It's very important. Another intervention is to lose that extra body weight because it places more stress on the large joints like the hips, the knees, and the ankles. Excess weight makes the symptoms of pre-existing arthritis worse. Maintaining a healthy weight can help you prevent developing it or help your current, already in process osteoarthritis not slow down. If you're overweight, just 10%, if you lose just 10% of your body weight, you can ease your arthritis pain by 50%. And even more modest weight loss can help too. So remember this, for every extra pound you drop, you reduce the pressure on your knees by 4 pounds. You lose 10 pounds, 40 pounds of pressure is off your knees. Another very successful intervention is acupuncture. Many people get relief from acupuncture treatments. When a trained acupuncturist inserts thin needles at specific points on your body, it stops those pain pathways. It takes several weeks sometimes before you notice an improvement, but Many people say acupuncture has made all the difference for them. Other proven treatments, massage therapy, because it improves circulation, reduces pain and stiffness, and improves your joint mobility. Many times it's necessary to have a steroid injection in that cranky joint, or a hyaluronic acid injection, which is something that really helps moisturize and helps that gliding action work smoother. There's trigger point injections, and there's also nerve blocks, which absolutely blocks the pain. Now, something you can do yourself is watch your diet. Calcium and vitamin D rich foods like leafy green vegetables, broccoli, spinach, they help slow the progression of osteoarthritis. Omega-3 fatty acids, which are abundant in fatty fish, such as salmon or tuna, are among the most potent anti-inflammatory supplements. And they not only help joint inflammation, but they help other types of inflammation as well, including vascular inflammation. Green, black, and white teas, these are compounds from plants that have strong anti-inflammatory effects. Something that we always preach about, not just with osteoarthritis, but with the many chronic diseases and aging, is hydration. Drink water. Water is necessary to help prevent joint friction. If you're drinking a lot and you're being hydrated, that is probably the easiest way to reduce inflammation. Your body's getting enough water, your joints will move more freely, and this will lead to less pain. Many times somebody's having a really achy day, and I'll say, on top of that over-the-counter anti-inflammatory, try tanking up a little bit more with hydration, and you'll get some relief from that alone. It's important to reduce the intake of red meats, processed meats. Those really, really get that inflammation going in the system. Bacon, hot dogs, lunch meat, those are not good. Reduce sugar intake, like refined grains, white bread, white rice, pasta, pastries. And I'm not saying stay away from it. I'm just saying be careful, in moderation. It's worth it to feel good. Reduce your salt intake. Salt makes your body hang on to water, which can make any swelling worse. Try using different spices, garlic, and other things to add flavor to your foods. Corticosteroids are medications which are prescribed by a doctor. They're very powerful anti-inflammatory drugs, and they quickly relieve pain and reduce inflammation. An example of this is prednisone. It slows down reduces inflammation and slows down that joint damage. Try using hot or cold compresses to the affected joint. This reduces the inflammation and relieves pain. Hot therapy such as a warm bath or a heat pack helps loosen tight muscles and improve circulation. Cold therapy such as ice packs can help reduce swelling and numb joint pain. Many times arthritis sufferers feel like the damage to their body is already done, so what's the difference what kind of shoes I wear? Well, this is a mistake, because flat, flexible shoes can actually reduce the force exerted on your joints. This is an important modification for people who experience arthritis in the knees, hips, and feet. Use special tools at home and work. Daily tasks like cooking and opening doors can be difficult for people with arthritis. We know there is no cure, but the goal is to protect the joints and improve your ability to perform daily tasks. You want to stay independent. You want to do the things you enjoy. Fortunately, there are many products available at hardware and medical supply stores to help arthritis sufferers with daily tasks. Some items are made with your swollen and stiff joints in mind, like easy grip pens, spring action scissors, non-slip jar openers. Trade in those heavy mixing bowls for some lighter plastic versions. Have lever-style faucet handles installed so you don't have to grip and turn water in the kitchen and bathroom. Look for storage lids that lift off or flip open easily. Avoid these small parts and complicated latches. There's wide key holders for the car. You know, there's a lot of assistive devices that you should use as well. Canes, shoe inserts, walkers. If you have clothing that's a problem, buy clothing without buttons. Or there are buttoning aids, zipper pulls. Use electric can openers for opening cans. The right tool for the job will make your life easier and you'll be more productive, and you will slow down the damage to your joints by overextending. If conservative measures don't help, people with withered cartilage can even undergo full joint replacements. In some instances, joint surfaces can be smooth or realigned. You know, those bone spurs we talked about, sometimes a surgeon will go in and just clean out those bone spurs. It can be done arthroscopically through a small incision over the joint. And then there is total joint replacement. It replaces that damaged joint with an artificial one. And I cannot tell you the quality of life improvements when anyone has received a joint replacement. Don't wait. Don't wait until you can't walk. You lose all kinds of muscle tones. By the time you get to surgery, you have no muscle tone to begin with rehab. If pain is waking you up at night, it's time. Do not put that joint replacement off. All systems in your body are affected when you are not active. Everything starts that cascade downward. You need to keep moving. By making certain lifestyle changes, like eating healthier and becoming more physically active, you can decrease your risk of getting or worsening your arthritis. Know your limits, though. You know, you have to balance activity and rest, and don't overdo it. There is something to be said for keeping disciplined with your activities. You could do more, of course. You could keep going for another 2 hours, but you know what? You have to stop while you still have some energy left. You need something left. Balance activity and rest, and do not overdo. Remember, in order to make the most conscious choices for ourselves and our family, knowledge is power. Thank you to the wonderful staff of MJ Baker Financial Advisors for providing their clients access to information about health that is easily understood and improving the quality of life. Until the next time, look after yourself and your families. Be well. Take care. Bye-bye.